Once again, a warm welcome and a welcome to our Rotary Foundation trustee, Pearl from Nigeria, our esteemed speaker for tonight. We are honored to have you with us. A special welcome as well to our second speaker, past President Fritz, a dedicated member of the annual giving committee of District 7030. Both speakers bring deep knowledge and inspiration to our evening, and we look forward to their presentations. They will more fully introduce as the program continues. I would also like to extend greetings to District Governor Debbie, our District Governor-elect Soraya, District Governor nominee Maurice, as well as our past District Governors, Assistant Governors, Club Presidents, Secretaries, and all our Rotary members from our vibrant District 7030. On the Rotary calendar, the month of November is dedicated to the Rotary Foundation, as we all know. During this time, Rotary clubs and districts worldwide spotlight the Foundation's vital role by focusing on the Foundation at the district level this month. We hope Rotarians will be inspired to deepen their commitment to doing good in the world. Before we continue, I would like to share briefly our agenda for tonight. We'll begin with opening remarks from District Governor Debbie. Then PDG David will introduce our featured speaker, Trustee Pearl. This will be followed by her presentation and a Q&A session. Then I will introduce past President Fritz, who will share insights from the annual giving committee of District 7030, followed by a second Q&A session. We will conclude with final words on the Rotary Foundation and a vote of thanks. That said, I would like to ask DG Debbie to DG Debbie to give us her opening remarks.
Thank you so much, past District Governor and Foundation Chair for the District, PDG Wadi Soma, for the introduction. Good evening, everyone. Special welcome to our Foundation Trustee Pearl. I traveled all the way virtually from French Guiana, where I'm conducting a club visit, to join this meeting just for a few moments. Members, I encourage you to absorb all the useful information. I don't want to say pearls of wisdom that Pearl would share, right? But certainly I know that tonight we would have two fantastic presentations by our trustee and of course past President Fritz. And I have been in all my club visits, it's about 60 virtual visits completed so far, talking about the Foundation to every single club, encouraging every single club in the district to donate. And of course, we have a very active and vibrant team led by PDG Wadi at the district level. So tonight, I am sure that you would have a fantastic session. I hope that for all of us on the call, we would learn something new. And I would definitely look at the recording so I too could learn what I missed out. So enjoy it. Have a great evening. And I am back to Cayenne and French Guiana.
Thank you so much, DG. Thank you for your inspiring words. And of course, we're sure that you will have an inspirational meeting tonight. We will learn a lot. Thank you so much. And good luck with all your visits.
Thank you. Thank you, PDG Wadi.
Okay. With that being said, I would like past District Governor David to introduce to us our trustee Pearl Okoro from Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you, PDG Wadi, and good night and welcome to all. It's my real pleasure to introduce Trustee Pearl Okoro from all the way from Port Harcourt in Nigeria. She was a friend on the sidelines through mutual friends before, just met up in the corridors, and so always on the move. Those of you will find out Pearl is always on the move, never stopping. But she's even a better friend now because she woke up at midnight to be with us. So I think we owe her a special one for that. Thank you, Pearl, for that. So Pearl is a current trustee of the Rotary Foundation and a member of the Rotary Club of Port Harcourt since 1999. And just by the way, PDG Sonia is going to share and has shared with some already Pearl's full bio, because if I did Pearl's real bio, I would be the guest speaker and not Pearl. so I've just given you some snippets, but you all have it, the full one, and converted also and translated to French as well. Yeah, so as I said, member of the Rotary Club of Port Harcourt in Nigeria since 1999, and she was adjudged the best club president and the best district governor in 2008 and 2010, respectively. That alone tells you about Pearl, to be at the top of both in such a large area. She has served the district and Rotary International and the foundation in several capacities. As you will see when you read the bio, she's been chair or part of everything that is possible, especially the foundation. Pearl is really passionate about the foundation, very, very passionate about the foundation, and is also being a trustee, but she's a member of the stewardship committee. She created the Africa Zone of Rotary Global History Fellowship, which we all know as RGHF, and she's received several awards in this area of preserving the history of Rotary. She also is a former training leader. She was a training leader at the 2022 International Assembly, and passionate, as I said, about the foundation, and especially, again, eradicating polio in the world. And she serves in the Nigeria National Polio Plus Committee. As well as that, she actually does work or has worked otherwise. She has 30 years experience in insurance and has interest also in agriculture. She is a devoted Catholic and a Knight of St. John's International. She founded Refeed, which is a foundation in honor of her late father, and volunteers as a special advisor to the founder of the Sir Emeka Ofor Foundation on partnerships and philanthropy. She is married to Kingsley, committed to family values and so on, and they're both third-level major donors to the Rotary Foundation and have 2 lovely children. So without further ado, again, Pearl, welcome and thank you for coming, and it's over to you.
Thank you, David. Thank you. I am honored. Thank you. Thank you so much, Sonia. And thank you, my dear friends. This is now morning in Nigeria. This is past midnight. This is precisely 11 minutes after midnight in Nigeria. And about my favorite subject, and that is the Rotary Foundation. Like he said, this is the Rotary Foundation month, and there is no better time to talk about our foundation than now. I just started by referring us to, for those of us that listened to the RI President's speech when she introduced her theme, when she said her theme was going to be magic of Rotary. I know that wowed everybody, but she was quick to remind all of us that it's not going to be an abracadabra. It's not going to be like you dash the magic wand and magic starts working. No, she reminded us that the magic she expects us to do. And how is that going to happen? That we are going to be doing projects in our communities, that we are going to commit to ending polio, which is our most strategic priority. We have promised the children of world, that we deliver a polio-free world, that we're going to grow our membership because we need more numbers for us to do the interventions we need to do. And of course, that you're going to be contributing in addition to what you're doing before to the Rotary Foundation. So this is how the magic is meant to happen. The magic is supposed to be you. You are the magic. Rotary Foundation has been on since 1917, ever since the late Archclump decided that we needed to be doing good in the world. And if you recall, we've done projects that have exceeded $4 billion in all the countries of the world. That is just a little cap of the interventions we've done. Like, you know, when we started the fight against polio, 1985, 89, from far back in Philippines, there were polio in over 200 countries of the world. But today, we have polio in only 2, Afghanistan and Pakistan, meaning that we are not yet done. The monies contributed to the Rotary Foundation, 90% or even 95%. I'm actually somewhere where I also came for a workshop. I'm out of my base. And I reminded listeners that the Rotary Foundation collects your money and does not use your money for administration. It's purely used for the reason why they are being collected from donors, both Rotarians and non-donors. With our global reach of over 1.2 million people, the reason why the likes of Bill Gates will partner with Rotary, there is actually no part of the world we cannot reach. Do I also talk about the Charity Navigator? It's found us as the best for the 15th time running. If you know the indices with which the Charity Navigator picks out the best charity in the world, transparency, accuracy, accountability, that is how your foundation has been rated over the year. The grants that we do all over the world has actually justified our existence as a foundation. There is hardly anything Rotary cannot do through the grants. Let's come home a little bit, because I did a little bit of research into your district. It's exciting to note the number of clubs you have, about 75. Rotary clubs, not minding the fact that we've been met. I'm also excited that you have early acts clubs, meaning that you're catching the youth, you're catching the young ones part of their living. Exciting to know is also that your clubs are ardent believers in the Rotary Foundation. You're involved in grants, you do community projects, you continually engage the youths to ensure that the programs of Rotary are executed. Indeed, put it shortly, like I said there, that you are also determined. I mean, I'm talking to a district that are already converted. I mean, there are some districts that are still steep from the Rotary Foundation on giving, but I'm speaking to a district that are converted, that are believers. I'm actually not going to tell you anything new. I'm actually here to inspire us more, to tell us not to get complacent and have what I usually call a donor fatigue. So you may want to ask, since it's the magic of Rotary we're talking about, how does this magic happen? I've spoken about polio. We've reduced polio to 99.9%. Like we always say, we are this close, but we are not yet done. If you know the number of children scattered all over the world that we are being hung down by polio, and now we have it only in 2 countries of the world. It's audacious. It's a legacy that sometimes when I begin to think about it, remember, by the time we eradicate polio, it would have been just the second human disease to be eradicated. We've done it for 99%. Yeah. Every day it looks as if the goal is being shifted because of what is happening in Afghanistan and Pakistan. But not to worry, we are determined, and it's no longer if we end polio, it's when we end polio. Of course, you know the basic things Rotary Foundation does is fighting disease. I don't know of any other charity organization that has been consistent, especially when it comes to diseases affecting children, right from our polio interventions. Rotary bothers about even unborn children. They take care of pregnant mothers, they take care of environments to ensure that when children are born, they do not die. Is it our fight against HIV? When COVID came, it was indeed the platform of polio that most countries used in attacking COVID. Or is it malaria? Disease, there is no disease. Tuberculosis, name them. Of course, the Rotary Foundation also promotes peace. Indeed, most times Rotarians, when they talk about peace, or even non-Rotarians, they're looking at it from just the peace fellowships. But I tell you, everything we do, whether we are giving water to sanitation, whether we are tackling the environment, whether we are giving literacy, whether we are ending polio, just whatever we are doing, it is to ensure that there is a peaceful coexistence among peoples of the world. Every project that we do tends towards peace. It promotes peace, apart from sending and the peace scholarships that we yield to the peace centers scattered all over the world. Of course, I've spoken about water, sanitation. Water, you still be surprised that there are environments, like even the environment where I came from, that people do not have pipe-borne water. People drink from wells that look like tea. It looks colored. And Rotary goes into those environments and give clean water. Of course, you know that when people take clean water, diseases are reduced tremendously. Sanitation, hygiene. Polio is trending. If you check the places where polio is still prevalent, you know that they have common denominators. There are war, there is poor accessibility to clean water, to good hygiene, to good food and all that. These are the things the Rotary Foundation has been providing for. Through the community calls, Rotary tries to make sure that we build a community of volunteers. Of course, you know how the community clubs work. We get into an environment, look for like-minded people who may not be in Rotary, but are spirited. They want to hold the economy, the environment. They want to tender humanitarian services in the environment. Some of them end up becoming Rotarians. They are community volunteers, and they enable us to further the works of the Rotary Foundation. Saving mothers and children, I spoke about it before. The emphasis on children is worthy of note. Rotary makes sure that not just children anyway, that we have accessibility to good health care. Rotary interventions, I know that in India has been coming to Nigeria for the past 30 years with medical missions. If it's either is open heart surgery, it's eye surgery, it's hole in the heart, it's children with cleft. These are interventions. So even the works of the Rotary Foundation doesn't end with children. Adults, people benefit. Free medical care. I was a medical doctor here today who turned 70. And he said as his own gift, he was given 70 eye operations on cataract operations to people. These are some of the things that Rotary is doing. Supporting education, both adult literacy and child literacy. Rotary ensures that everybody is able to read and write. If you're not able to read and write, you cannot even read prescriptions. where there are signs of don't go, these are no-go areas. If you cannot read, you cannot interpret those signs, you end up in danger. So Rotary tries as much as possible to provide those basic education through its numerous programs. Is it the local economy? The fourth program of scale that was just cited in India is to ensure that they enable the farmers to harvest water and attend to some agricultural interventions. So it's not just health that we do. We also make sure that we support agriculture, we support local economies, we support microcredits. Women who are unable to support the families through the microcredits that we give are able to do so. Or is it the grants? I'm also happy to note that your districts are deeply involved in grants, both the global grants and the district grants. So you may want to ask, why do we need to keep giving? Why are we talking about giving? Why do we have to continue to give? Rotary International, through the Rotary Foundation, has demonstrated accountability, transparency, the willingness, the ability to turn money to multiply money. Rotary has demonstrated that it can be trusted with people's funds. Rotary have advanced world peace and understanding through the funds that it receives from people. Is it about the impact? Like I said, giving to the Rotary Foundation gives you an awesome opportunity to be impactful in the world. I tell people when I speak that without Rotary, I'll just be playing local here. I'll go to my own immediate economy, immediate environment, and just drop a minor drop in the water. The Rotary Foundation gives you an opportunity to pull funds. What it means is that wherever you are, when you see a shelter box somewhere in Ukraine, you beat your hand to say, oh, my money is there. If Rotary is fighting polio in Afghanistan and Pakistan, you know your money is there. If Rotary is doing something in Africa or in India or in the Philippines or in Honduras, you know that your money is there. The impacts of the Rotary Foundation interventions are enormous. That is just one reason, because alone, as an individual, no matter how rich you are, you will not be able to have that kind of impact on your own. We have records to show that we have succeeded and we are succeeding. I've just talked about the Charity Navigator that has stamped us for 15 years running. It's a record of success. When Bill Gates was asked why he was partnering with Rotary, he simply said that he has studied our books and he just wants to run with this organization because of our record of success. I've also spoken to the global reach. Rotary Foundation enables you to reach the crannies, the nooks and crannies of our communities. Rotary Foundation enables you to actually travel to places where you physically cannot be. Your money works for you. Your money answers present for you in communities where you may not even be able to reach in your lifetime. I've not been to Ukraine, but I am confident that my intentions have been stamped in Ukraine. I've not been to Afghanistan, but each time I look at their warring society and interventions Rotary is doing to ensure that children are immunized from house to house, I know that my little contribution is helping that to do. It has a global reach. Or is it the bringing peace in the world? With the interventions we do in Rotary, like I said, every aspect of our giving tries to ensure that there's a peaceful coexistence between the peoples of the world. Now, I keep telling people that I know that when you ask people, what do you know about Rotary? They just tell you polio. But we do beyond polio. And that is what, even in this my speech this evening, I want to let everybody and tell Rotarians that let us get around to know more of the programs of the Rotary Foundation. We get to know the programs. Okay, sorry, I'm skipping. We're talking about the ways to give. Rotary, sorry. Rotary encourages us to do what we know as EREY, every Rotarian every year. Sorry, my throat. Okay, I'm good. Every Rotarian every year. Every Rotarian every year, of course, you know, is $100 donation to the Rotary Foundation. For me, that's the minimum every Rotarian should strive to give in every Rotary year, $100. And of course, you know, this $100 also enables you to subscribe to the Polio Plus Society. We are working so hard to make it a full Rotary program, but the Rotary Foundation is encouraging districts to get as many people as possible to subscribe to the Polio Plus Society. Polio Plus Society in most districts is a minimum donation of $100. And that is a way to ensure that our Rotarians are part of the legacy, that when this polio is eliminated, you can actually beat your chest that you were part of this great legacy. We give $1,000, we become a Paul Harris Fellow. We give multiples of the $1,000. We get to first 1 star, 2 star. At the end of the day, it comes to $10,000 and you become a major donor. We also have the Paul Harris Society, which is a conscious effort that every year you give a minimum of $1,000 to the Rotary Foundation and you become a Paul Harris Society member. Of course, the bequest, which is beginning to gain grounds, that you can give part of your estate. Like I tell people, do you really wonder what happens to your estate or your money when you're no longer here? I know people don't want to talk about that, but it surely will come. When we are no longer here, we devote part of our estate with proper agreement with our family to go to the Rotary Foundation. This is to ensure that Rotary continues. It ensures that Rotary continues after us. What the likes of Paul Harris and the likes of Archclum started is living beyond them. Paul Harris, I mean, never imagined that years after he's gone, we're still talking about a Rotary. It is because some of these monies that people put away enables the continuation of our work. The endowment fund, like you know, is one very wonderful way of preserving our legacy. It ensures that Rotary continues to intervene in the world. And of course, you know that the monies that are given to our foundation through the endowment fund is not spent. It's actually the dividend that is spent. Benefactor, when you give money to the benefactor, which is also $1,000, goes into the endowment fund. So by the time you start getting to Archclum Society, you have people who give minimum of $250,000. There's also a named fund. You can also decide to name a fund. And the beauty of the Rotary Foundation is that you have an opportunity to say, this is where I want my money to go to. This is how I want it spent. I want it tailored towards education. I want it tailored towards so and so. It gives you, Rotary Foundation gives you the opportunity to actually, follow your course. I know that in some countries, they devote, their corporates devote part of their, a percentage of their monies to CSR. And those of them choose Rotary as a vehicle for those to happen. So there are so many ways you can actually give to the Rotary Foundation and be part of this magic that I'm talking about. I talked about Polio Plus in our programs. I am encouraging Rotarians to please go and learn about the programs of the Rotary Foundation. Yes, polio is our most strategic priority, but it's not the only thing we do. We've given so much, we have contributed so much man hours towards polio eradication. But we do beyond polio. We do beyond polio. Of course, our humanitarian grants program, our educational programs where you have the scholarships, where you have the VTT and all that. The youth programs, the youth exchange, the Rotary Youth Leadership Award. These are great programs of the Rotary Foundation that ensures that everybody is involved. The Rotary Community Corps, I talked about it, or the program of scale. The program of scale, 4 of the program of scale has been so approved. The first one went to Zambia to attack malaria. I mean, this is a project that started with a 2 million that had surpassed over $6 million. And the reports we are getting shows that malaria is almost being wiped off in India, in Zambia. I was in Zambia last year for the Institute, and we got the partners to come to speak to us. And every person in the whole Rotarians, we are happy, we are excited to be part of the reduction of malaria in faraway Zambia. That is the magic of the Rotary Foundation. I'm not Zambian, I don't live in Zambia, I don't have relatives in Zambia, but I'm contributing to reducing malaria in India. The second one came to Nigeria, my own country here, for reducing maternal and child, for improving maternal and child health. In Nigeria, women die almost like every other second through childbirth. And why would a woman be passing out in this century through childbirth? So Rotary also does that in Nigeria through the POS. Is also a 2 million project. Indeed, in addition to it, there's a new program introduced now that is called the Rotary Healthy Communities Challenge. It's also addressing some health concerns that affects women and children. The third one was in Egypt, the program of scale to address cervical cancer. And during the Singapore Convention, the 4th program of scale was announced, and that is to India. So it's tremendous programs of the Rotary Foundation, which we need to talk about beyond polio. Rotary Family Health Days are awesome. It ensures that the Rotary Foundation programs go into the hinterlands, not just the cities, but villages, communities, crannies, to continue giving basic health needs to our environment. I don't like just talking about giving to the Rotary Foundation without also speaking about taking from it. We've spoken about grants. When I was chatting with him, I did say that I loved the fact that your district are involved in grants. I tell Rotarians that the monies we contribute, you see, the monies you give to the Rotary Foundation actually come back to you 1,000-fold. If you go through the records, of what you have given the foundation and what you have taken through grants and other interventions, you will agree with me that what you have taken, it outweighs what you are giving. If you are not taking, it is because you are not doing the right thing. It's not because the Rotary Foundation is not available for you to take. We discussed it at the trustees level. We want Rotarians, we want districts to come out and take money for, that's why the money is there. That's why the monies are contributed, especially if you're able to go through the process, able to do the stewardship and ensure that people's money are properly used. We want Rotarians to get involved in grants because these global grants are tremendous ways to ensure that you change lives in the communities. The district grants also enable you to attack smaller projects in your district, in your immediate community. This money of the Rotary Foundation, which comes to your DDF, I've spoken about the program of scale. That is also how communities, districts, countries apply for this program of scale. And when it comes in millions. It comes with big count. And remember, like they said, it's a program of scale. The money is given at the initial stage. It's just a startup. It leaves room for scaling up. That is why it's called program of scale. And it's a way you can actually take from the Rotary Foundation to ensure that our communities feel us. I've talked about the Rotary Healthy Community Challenge. At the moment, the one that they're doing in Nigeria, Zambia, is also attacking malaria. There are places where malaria have actually invaded. It affects children, it affects adults, it reduces the lifespan of people. And these are ways you can actually take from the Rotary Foundation and ensure that these things are done. I know that we are going to have questions. I know people want to ask questions, all that. But being the Rotary Foundation month, I want us to do what is right. I just want us to ensure that we partake in things that give us the enablement to intervene and enhance our communities. Rotary Foundation has been doing good since 1917. Rotary, of course, we are doing quite more before 1917, but since the establishment of the Rotary Foundation, we became better. We became an organization that doesn't just attend to its members, but an organization that attends to the environment. We're almost eradicating polio, like I said, the second human disease that are going to be eradicated. We are targeting a 2025 by 2025. What this means is that we are hoping to grow our endowment fund to 2.25 billion by the year 2025. And year 2025 is just a few hours away. I do hope that you also be part of it, because the endowment fund encourages us to ensure that our legacies are kept, that Rotary grows beyond all of us. For this Rotary year, we have set another audacious goal of 500 million. Those of us that listen to our trustee chair, Mark Maloney, said, expect this magic to happen in our contributions, whether you're going to give to the polio fund, whether it's annual fund, or whether is the endowment fund. We are looking at raising 500 million. We are looking at ensuring that every club gives to polio at least $1,500. We are hoping that every Rotarian gives at least $100 minimum. Together, we believe that this 500 million is achievable. And of course, need I remind you that for every $1 you give to the Rotary Foundation, the Bill Gates Foundation will match it with 2. I mean, what other magical transformation are you expecting? That you give a $1, someone somewhere, some organization tops it with $2. What that means is that if you contribute $1 to the polio fund, what is actually recorded for Rotary for that, the money that it multiplies for Rotary becomes $3. It is indeed magical. And that is the power of the Rotary Foundation. So my dear friends, I know it's going to be a good evening. I'll discussing the foundation. I know other people are also going to contribute to speak. But I need you to always note that the Rotary Foundation is one magic. Indeed, when President Orchik chose the magic of Rotary, I said she's actually addressing the Rotary Foundation, because there is nothing, there is no organization, there is no foundation in the world that is as magical in reach, in practice, in words and action as the Rotary Foundation. I want to thank you for all you've been doing. I thank your district for being the exponent to, for being a fan, for being a partner with the Rotary Foundation. And I say, please do not have donor fatigue. As long as the challenges in the world remains, Rotary and Rotarians will remain very, very relevant. And the Rotary Foundation is one vehicle that enables you to do truly magical things. Need I say that you are the magician yourself? You are the one that creates the magic. Let's keep the magic coming with the Rotary Foundation. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Burl. Thank you for your wonderful presentation, and especially inspiring a presentation, highlighting how we can really, as Rotarians, create the magic. It starts with us. we have to give, but we can also take. And through the Rotary Foundation, we can really do magical things. That's really the key of your message, at least what I've taken from your presentation. Thank you. It was inspiring. Once again, thank you. Hopefully there are some questions in the chat box.
No questions. I think
No
Steve
questions.
answered every question everyone had.
Yeah, probably. But since Trustee Pearl is in the foundation, in the board of the foundation, as a foundation chair, I would love to know, since there is a distribution of annual fund giving after 3 years coming back to the district, and there is a distribution of 50% to district, to DDF, and 50% to the World Fund. I saw that there is a proposal on changing that distribution and that ratio, making it 60 for district grants and 40 for the World Fund. What's your take on that?
Yeah, the thing is that, yeah, we do global grants. Most of the time we get these reports that districts are finding it difficult to get partners to do global grants. We've also discovered that yes, we pre-qualify clubs during the grant management seminars to do global grant, to do all grants. But we discovered that some clubs find it difficult, districts find it difficult to actually sit. There's a lot of technicality around the global grants, especially, of course, the interventions from $30,000 above. Sometimes the districts go through rigors trying to write up those tax, and sometimes we find out that when they are not participating in the global grants, it looks as if they are cut off from participating in grants. So raising that number, we enable the districts do more interventions in their local communities without necessarily reaching out for foreign partners to match as you will have in global grants. Like, what the Rotary Foundation does from the trustee level, from the board level, is to keep getting feedbacks from Rotarians, keep getting feedback from districts, keep getting feedback from our Rotary Foundation committee to look out for ways where we can serve Rotarians better. We don't want each year monies are kept in our coffers and are not used. Indeed, the report that just came out recently shows that we are making some savings. People took less money for grants than we projected. I mean, somebody may look at it and say, oh, this is a good record, but for us, no. We want those monies to go back. If those monies are not in the communities doing interventions, it doesn't make sense. It won't help our public image. It won't help our Rotarians fulfill their causes. It will, of course, not help our environment to get better. So that is the brain behind it, that we get more money to intervene locally, while those who can actually stretch forth to do grants will also stretch forth and get monies and global partners and foreign international partners to continue writing up the global grants. In addition to that, at the trustee level, opportunities are also being given. For that is why when it comes to the DDF, we say, please, DDFs, you are not going to move it on to the next year. So we are encouraging districts to actually come out and seek these grants. We're designing a model that is going to come up before the end of the Rotary year, whereby you can actually take from a previous DDF, like 2-3 years back, but on the understanding that your current DDF is used up. Over the years, we encourage districts to give out towards the end of the Rotary year, the DDF that you don't use up, please can you donate it to the Rotary Foundation, to the polio fund, to enable us reach the Bill and Melinda Gates match. But we also find out that at the end of the day, there are some districts that do not use up their DDF. So as much as possible, we want to make sure that DDFs are used back in the community. Yes. Thank you, David.
Thank you. I think we have a question.
Thank you very much, Trustee Pearl and PDG Wadi. The question I have is from Past President Rita. She's asking, are the numbers of applications still rising? And what is the risk that the World Fund will run out of money in case in the event that the change goes through?
That's exactly our emphasis in foundation money. We're not going to run out of money. That one I'm assuring you. And if you listen at the beginning of my presentation, I did say, do not get into donor fatigue. We depend on Rotarians. Rotarians are the basic contributors to the Rotary Foundation, but we have a lot of non-Rotarians who believe in our causes, who also partner with us through their donations to ensure that Rotary continues, that interventions of the Rotary Foundation continue. We are also in a hurry to grow our endowment fund, tremendously. When these funds are grown, we're not going to be running out. We just want to ensure, that's why we are preaching for the 2025 by 2025, because monies from the endowment fund are plugged back into our work fund to ensure that we have monies to intervene for the Rotary Foundation. So don't be discouraged, don't be scared. We're not going to run out of funds. We're not going to run out of funds. We are finding other ways, several ways to grow our funds to ensure that Rotarians have a pool to reach out to do our interventions. Thank you. Oh, yes, I can see it. The investment profile is soaring up. Rotary takes time. Rotary takes time to ensure that your monies are properly invested. Every year, they sit, the investment officers, the auditors, they go through the books, they look for better ways to invest money, where it will have better yields, where it will have less tax and all that. We are not, like I said, the charity navigator couldn't have come up to give us the best, and those of the best 15 years running. We go through a lot of scrutiny. We go through a lot of, like litmus tests. We go through a lot of like microscope. So we do everything possible. The people managing the Rotary Foundation funds are experts, and they will not let any dollar of Rotary go without proper investment, because we depend on the yields of this investment to grow all our funds, to ensure that Rotarians have access to fund to do the needful. Thank you.
Thank you. No other questions?
No other questions, PDG Wadi.
Thank you. Then
I'm not running. I'm not going to sleep. I'm still here. I'll enjoy most of your deliberations. I'm here.
thank you so much. Thank you for your time. Wonderful. So let's continue and let's say dive in more into some numbers of the foundation in numbers of our district with regard to our giving, etc. And PP Fritz will give us his presentation about our annual giving. May I introduce PP Fritz, Past President Fritz. Born on the French island of Guadeloupe, he's a French speaker, a French government registered architect. Past President Fritz has had his own practice for decades. His architectural work has been published in numerous French and English Caribbean books and magazines. He was invited to join Rotary International in 2000. Rotary. In the course of his Rotary journey, he has had the honor and privilege of serving twice as club president, 3 times as assistant governor, and once as district co-chair for literacy. Still active in his club, for the past 4 years, he has been responsible for public image, diversity, equity, and inclusion, membership, and the Rotary Foundation. He is a major donor to the foundation and a founding member of the District 7030 Polio Plus Society. May I ask Past President Fritz to give his presentation.
I love this guy and thank you for this bio, buddy. Good evening, everybody. You can hear me? Okay, I don't know how to manage that. Can you see my presentation?
No, we can't, Fritz.
Okay.
Have you shared your screen? Do you need me
Yes.
to help you?
Yes, please.
Okay, just give me a minute. I'll be right there. Just 1 minute. Just a minute, having some technical issues. Okay. Let's go. Fritz, you can go ahead.
Yes. Now you can see me and you can hear me.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much, buddy, and thanks to all. I will have a very quick presentation on the annual fund of our district. So I will briefly define what is the annual fund, how it works, and we'll see donation over 10 years and our target for 24-25 for donations and the level of our contribution at date, yesterday, and we will have some graphics to see, understand the evolution of our DDF and the history of district grant application and district grant awarded by District 7030. And after that, I will conclude, and that will cost you 9 minutes. That's not so long.
We're moving.
Oh, who moved the oh my God. Okay, the annual fund. Oh my God. The annual fund is,
I'm going to move the slides, okay?
okay, thank you very much. The annual fund is one of the 4 major funds of Rotary Foundation of Rotary International. It offers Rotarians the opportunity to add an extra dimension to their initial commitment as Rotarians. Donations to the annual fund are used to do humanitarian services internationally. With the share system, a portion of donation can also be used for local projects. The The Rotary, oh, that's okay. The Rotary Foundation's annual fund comprises of the World Fund, the Rotary International's 7 areas of focus for which funds are allocated, and the share system. The annual fund, World Fund, the World Fund finances Rotary International's priority activities worldwide. The annual fund areas of focus, contributions to the annual fund that are marked for an area of focus do not generate DDF. We'll see exactly what is DDF a bit later. Annual fund share, the more important one for us, for our subcommittee, 47.5% of donation to the annual fund share will be available to the district 3 years later as district designated fund, DDF. Half of this DDF is used by the district for district grants requested by the clubs. The other half is used for donations and for matching funds for global grants. Oh,
Give me a second. It's in PDF, so I'm struggling to move them as pages. Okay, good. Sorry.
that's fine. How it works? Donation to annual fund share. This donation is invested for 3 years. Growth supports foundation operation, and from now, part of this money goes to World Fund for global grants program, etc. And the other part went to DDF by district discretion. And this money is divided in 2 parts. The first one is for district grants, and the other part is for global grants. This is what you have to understand. Yeah.
Mhm. Coming. Whoops.
That's
Okay.
perfect. This is our donation in District 7030 over 10 years. As you can easily see, last year was a very good one. But the fact is, even though we had over 245K, the donation per capita per member, it is quite close to 100, you know. So we had in the past, in 15-18, a very not too bad one, 108 USD per member, per donor. So it's quite easy to understand that our donations in District 7030 is flying between 150 and just close to 200K. In the middle, you have a graphics who shows you exactly what I just said, and you can see very, very easily that the level of our donations become very high last year, and it started very, very slow 10 years before. On July 1st, oh, sorry. On July 1st, the district had a total of 2,401 members. If all members donate 100 US, this would bring the total to 240K, just over. Last year, in 23-24, total donation contributed was 245K for 2,353 members, averaging US per donor. Reasonably, for 24-25, a minimum target of 10% more or 275K can be set. That will be around 115 US per donor. That is very reasonable. So okay. Donation to yesterday. The total number I just said, 2,401 member. District annual fund goal. This is a sum of club goals on Rotary Club Central. It is 185K. Some clubs just forgot to go on Rotary Club Central and to do something. So we have just this this number. So the our goal in our subcommittee, we estimate that we could go to this level of amount, which is 275K. And the total registered donation to the annual fund to yesterday, 42K. We are very far, but I'm very confident we will reach our goal. So here is a graphics with the evolution of our DDF and district grant. As you can see very, very easily, our DDF is around averaging 90K. You know, as I just said, district grant is 50% of our DDF. So in a range, you can see very easily once a number around 45K, 90K DDF, 45K. It is not a lot of money. It is not a lot of money, especially because the number of requests from clubs have been risen from 6 in 16 to 17 last year. It is a lot. So if you just divide the number of our money allocated for district grant by this number, that is not a lot of money for club projects. This is what you have to realize. So we have to work on it with the team to help our DDF to become stronger. Please. Oh, you went too fast. Just to conclude. Yes, thank you. Donations have risen significantly since last year, you saw in the graphics, even if the amount per member remains low, particularly for the larger clubs, even though they donate large sums. Over the last 10 years, there has been an increase in number of district grant requested by clubs by 183%. Also, with the amount requested per club for the respective projects. The amount of the DDF no longer correlates with the level of needs of the clubs. As such, club donation need to be increased accordingly. That will be our magic for 24-25. This is what I just would like to tell you about the annual fund of our district. I thank you very much. And you can be assisted by the subcommittee 24 hours 7. Especially, you can just contact me to assist you for anything to contribute more to the annual fund of Rotary International. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Past President Fritz, or a member of the Annual Giving Committee. Thank you for the insights and showing us that in District 7030, there's a lot of room to grow our annual fund giving. We've heard from Trustee Pearl that in order for us to do our magic as Rotarians, the Rotary Foundation is a wonderful vehicle. It enables us, and we have to give to the foundation in order to get back. And thank you, wonderful, for this insight, so that we can see that we really have to, let's say, try to get many more donations to the foundation, and especially the annual fund. One thing I can say about, let's say, our, what do you say, that habit in giving is that our clubs tend to give only like the last quarter of the year. So yes, we can be confident that we will get this target, and especially with the support, with the assistance from the Annual Giving Committee, I'm sure that we will reach that target. We have to. Okay. Then now,
Does anyone have any questions for
Yeah.
PP Fritz? Although those numbers looked a little
yeah,
sad at the moment.
can imagine. If there are no questions, then I think we can continue.
Yes. Go ahead. No questions.
Yeah. No questions. Great.
Another excellent presentation, I would say.
Thank you so much. As we have heard, as I said, from the trustee, we have heard from Trustee Pearl, we have heard from Past President Fritz about the foundation, about giving, about magic. There's a magic too. Okay. Wasn't expecting that, but
Living in my house, oh my goodness.
let me, before we continue, there is a comment of remark of Trustee Pearl. Very satisfying to know that your district has a pattern of giving. Please keep it up, and let's start giving. Yes, thank you for encouraging us. Thank you for your wonderful presentation that really will inspire us to give more. As we know, we have heard about the Rotary Foundation, that the Rotary Foundation plays a crucial role in advancing Rotary International mission, in our mission, enabling programs that make a tangible difference in communities around the world. It truly is the engine that powers Rotary's humanitarian efforts, creating a legacy of peace, health, prosperity that reaches across borders and generations. Through its programs, the Foundation empowers Rotarians to address the root causes of inequality and to create meaningful, lasting change, all while embodying Rotary's enduring motto of service above self. Having said that, I think that is what we should take from these two presentations, wonderful presentations that we had, that the Rotary Foundation is truly, in my opinion, the heart of our being Rotarians. For me, it's the heart because it takes blood, it takes our donations, but always also gives back. And it gives back to all, even the smallest parts of our Rotary being. Yeah, our district grants, and of course, through global grants. So yes, we have to keep on giving, and while keep on giving, taking back. Let me close with that. And before we end, of course, a vote of thanks to the trustee Pearl. Thank you for joining us at this late hour, or better say early morning, to share your insights on the foundation's work and impact. Past President Fritz, thank you for providing essential foundation updates for our district. DG Zebby, we're grateful for your opening remarks. PDG David, thank you for introducing our esteemed trustee Pearl. And PDG Sonia, thank you for setting up this meeting as our district learning facilitator. Thanks to everyone behind the scenes and to all members who joined tonight's call. And of course, I should not forget the interpreters. Yeah, because if they are not around, our French friends, Rotarian members, it will be difficult for them to follow the presentation. So thank you so much. We really need you.
Wadi, before you close off, I just want to let everyone know that I placed the slides in the chat box. So for those of you who are asking and bombarding my WhatsApp, please download them from here. They will be placed on the district website in the future. But for those of you who got those pearls of wisdom, no pun intended, from this session, please, please, these are the moments that we and in District 7030 live for, having someone like our trustee take the time to speak with us this evening. Thank you so much. Sorry, Wadi. I'm done.
Thank you. No, thank you for your nice words, and thank you for concluding this meeting. And thank you to all the Rotary members that have joined us, and especially it took almost 1 hour and 15 minutes. I think it's not so long, but still, thank you for your dedication to be in this meeting. And then can I have a shout out, especially to the Rotary Club of St. Vincent, because I was supposed to give a presentation virtually tonight to the club, but I asked them to join this meeting and they did. Thank you so much. Wonderful. Have a good evening and see you around. And don't forget, please start giving.
Donate, donate, donate.
Donate.
This is the month.
Thank you.
Making that big contribution. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Good night and good morning. Thank you.
Yeah, good morning. Thank you.
Thank you, Pearl.
Wonderful,
Thank
wonderful.
you.
Thank you, Trustee.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for joining.
Bye.
Great
Bye-bye.